And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Well, hello and welcome to everyone. It is the Weighing In podcast, and we have a ton of stuff to talk about. We have had the UFC PFL ONE had an event. My God, there's all kinds of announcements of fights, even fights between internet nerds. It's awesome. What's going on, man?
You mean internet billionaires? That's what you meant.
Well, you could be a billionaire and be a nerd. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, most of the nerds are billionaires.
Hell yes. That's why I call them, they could end up being exactly what I talk about, nerd assassins.
Yes.
Because as you know, there are nerd assassins out there.
You know what's funny, man, is I didn't realize that Zuck is 39 years old and Elon's like in his 50s.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to fight a 50-year-old man? It just doesn't make any sense. He must be. I'm wondering if he's hanging out with Jake Paul at all, Zuck, because he's calling out 50-year-olds. Come on, buddy. Come on. Anyways, we'll get into that a little bit, but. There was a good UFC yesterday. There was a couple good fights on that card, and we had the one fight on the ONE championship, which was the ONE MMA event, or the ONE MMA fight at the main event.
One on one.
And one on one.
It was the one.
It's a mouthful actually to get out. I didn't even realize.
It was the ONE heavyweight title.
Yeah. And then also the PFL and some suspensions that came along with not fighting. Interesting.
Yeah,
that's one way to make sure no promotion ever wants to have you on their show. That's
bingo.
Dumbest thing ever, man. Anyways, we'll get into all of it here shortly. Go to weighingInmerch.com, pick up some of our new apparel, and go to onlyfans.com/weighingin and subscribe to us for free over there. It's free, and John and I are still fighting for equal pay amongst men on OnlyFans. For men on OnlyFans.
Equity, baby.
Yes,
Equity.
We are. Yes, we are. That's what we are here for. And onlyfans.com/weighingin. All right, John, let's just jump right into this, man. I got a busy day. You got a busy day. John's gonna be out there in the humidity, sweating his ball sacks off. And and Dave's gonna be doing what Dave does, nothing. And then
Josh's gonna be boxing it up. Boxing it up, and I don't mean with a pair of gloves.
So boxing it up. We got some boxing going on today. So isn't that what Canadians call Boxing Day after Christmas?
Yeah,
is that like throwing away trash and shit? I think it's something like that. Is that what Boxing Day is in Canada?
No, it's not throwing away trash.
I thought it was like when they threw away all the boxes and the stuff from their gifts from Christmas. It was like getting rid of all the stuff that they from Christmas. I thought that's what Boxing Day is. What is the real reason behind it calling Boxing Day? A day off.
The tradition may come from a custom in the late Roman, early Christian era, wherein alms boxes placed in churches were used to collect special offerings. Boxing Day was used by the rich in Victorian times to box up items they no longer needed to give to the poor.
There you go.
That's what I thought.
So
it was
like
a
that.
charity thing. Yeah, but it's not the box. It was actually things in the box.
Well, I thought it was just like throwing away stuff. Which is basically like the rich was giving away their stuff they didn't need.
They call it the trash day then. That's on Tuesday.
Yeah. That's Canadians' prestigious day of throwing away all their shit and giving it to poor people.
Go to Trash Tuesday.
Trash Tuesday.
So that's what I do around here, man. I've got Monday, goes with mowing. Mow Monday. I've got Trash Tuesday because, I don't have a trash thing where I can just put a little can out front. I actually have to take my trash somewhere in a giant trailer. So, Trash Tuesday. Then we've got Wash Wednesday, wash all the equipment. So just got to come up with something for Thursday and Friday and Saturday, and I'm good.
You don't wash your equipment after you use it?
Not every time, because I might have to use it again the next day on the same project.
That's what you're supposed to do, though. That's how you take care of your shit.
Yeah, you can do that.
I've seen like
last night.
I was in your truck, and it's not very clean, man. You might want to start taking care of your stuff.
You lying son of a bitch. You know the reason my truck wasn't clean is because someone broke into it because of you.
Now, 2 weeks ago it wasn't my fault. Now all of a sudden,
now it's your fault. Now after you said that my truck was dirty, you lying bitch.
Oh shit! I got a story for you guys before we get carried away on this. So I get in the truck with John and Miss McCarthy, and we go out to dinner we come back, and I don't know, we were doing something, and we were heading to Raleigh, right? We were heading to Raleigh. And driving up there, and then I was like, where the fuck is John? We're checking in the hotel. I'm like, oh, shit. And I walked back out there after because we got to go and get the Uber and stuff. And I'm like, where the hell? I asked Miss McCarthy, where the fuck is John? John's in his fucking truck, wiping that shit down with fucking baby wipes and
Cleaning
shit.
that mother.
I was like, John,
Cleaning that mother.
I literally showered before I got in your car. What the fuck are you cleaning your shit?
There's a funk that comes
Oh,
out.
man. Oh, jeez. I was like, wow.
Cleaning the outside, baby.
Little anal, if you think about it. Little anal. Not the
just a
anus. Anal.
No, it ain't
It was pretty
I
funny.
admit it. I hate when my vehicles are dirty. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. I mean, how were you when you had
OCD.
young kids, though? I mean, shit. It's impossible.
I
It's
was-
like I'm a
I was the same way.
struggle,
Nope,
bro.
nope,
Struggle.
nope,
It's a
nope,
struggle.
No, it's because, dude, that's why you get the industrial size vacuum. Every time it used to be when I would get a brand new car, and it was a family car, so it'd be like a Suburban, like kind of like what you've had and stuff. And it's like, kids are hungry. It's like, yeah, they ain't eating in my car.
Nah. That's a hard, man. That's hard, though. When you're running late for school in the morning.
Everything's going down in between the seats because they can't. Half of what they have goes down, and half of it goes inside.
It's ridiculous. Yep. That, and between that and my dog being in the back seat. Ugh.
Yeah.
But I gotta lay the blanket down. One of those big moving blankets. I laid one of those things down,
Yep.
so he's back there. Just pull it out and shake it out. Give it the old beat him with the stick.
Shake it out and get covered with hair.
Yeah, You hang it over like the fence, and you can beat it a little bit, and it'll get clean. Flip it over, beat it a little bit, get clean. But outside of that,
All right, like my dog right now, it looks like Brock Lesnar because he's got a flat top. Okay, because I cannot keep that son of a bitch from running through barbed wire.
oh,
Okay,
man.
and so he's got all. It's like now his back has got these marks from barbed wire. It's like, dude, can you feel that? What is wrong with you? Stop running through barbed wire. As soon as he sees something, man, boom, he's off. And it's like, stop. So now he's got his back it's flat. I mean, really flat. It's not kind of rounded like a dog's would be. It's pretty damn flat from the wire and all the barbs taking all of his hair off when he's running through it going after something. I'm like,
You're
just a rocket.
they say that dogs start to look like their owners, and apparently they start
Might be true.
They start to do dumb things like their owners.
They start to act like their owners too.
Yeah, he likes barbed wire. You like to fight with trees. Same shit, right?
Same shit.
It's all the same. All right, hey, let's get into UFC on ABC. Emmett versus Topuria. And let's go ahead and start from the top there, buddy. Let's go with Topuria and Emmett. Josh Emmett right off the bat. What are you thinking?
Go ahead.
What are you thinking? Tell me what you think. I'll tell you what I think.
Went exactly like I thought. I told you. I said this is a very tough.
You act
fight.
like I'm in denial or something. Like we didn't agree on it.
I'm not.
John, it's like-
I'm not saying you're denial. It's just I looked at this as Josh Emmett. Everyone looks at Josh Emmett as a wrestler. He's not a wrestler anymore. He's a stand-up guy that has power and he wings big shot, but he's got a big gas tank, so he can do that for a long time. And he did exactly that. But this is what happens when you take. I don't want to say nothing against Josh. I love him as a fighter, and I think he's fantastic, and I love his heart and everything that he puts into the fight. But he throws looping punches. He throws wide looping hooks and overhand rights against a guy who is a technician, a guy who's very tight in his defense, and that was the big thing. All the shots that Josh was throwing. And you saw Topuria taking him on the arms, on the shoulders, missing by, an inch. And he just technically was the better fighter. And that's why he won. He was able to stand in the pocket when he wanted and throw clean, beautiful, the jab. How many times have we said one of the most underutilized things there is in MMA with a lot of fighters is the jab? Take a look at Josh Emmett's left side of his face. That's what a jab will do. he just got eaten up by Topuria with that jab, and everything that was happening in that fight just showed the level that Topuria has reached as a fighter, because he used to be a little bit open. Mm-hmm. You know, he used to be a guy that, you know, he was hittable because he would come in and throw his shots. And during that time, he was a hittable fighter too. And he had, you know, fights where, you know, I talked about the Jai Herbert knockout that he had, but he got hurt by Herbert in that fight. And so there was moments where you could look and say, yeah, he's undefeated, but he's got these holes that someone can take advantage of if, you know, they're a smart fighter. He's taking those holes and he's closing them up. He's becoming a much more efficient fighter. You looked at the output of energy comparatively. You know, Josh Emmett throwing those big shots and missing them. Topuria was, you talk about being in control of the pace, being in control of your exertion and when to take a little bit of a break, because he had moments where he opened up when he hurt Josh and went after him. Just a fantastic performance. And he showed, in my opinion, you can take a look at everybody there is in that featherweight division. He proved that, you know what, there's Alexander Volkanovski is at the top. Yair, you got to put there based upon he won the interim and they're going to fight. So we're going to see who's the best there. You got Max, and then you've got Topuria because he is in the top 4.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. Dave, can you pull up the rankings? There you go. Yeah, I mean, I think Arnold Allen gives him a good go. I think stylistically, Calvin Kattar might be a fun fight for him. You know, I mean, it'll be a tough fight, but I think he might be able to edge out Calvin Kattar. In that whole
big difference in the grappling.
Yeah. I mean, like, it depends on Calvin Kattar, though. I mean, like, if he focuses a lot more on his
I love Calvin.
take down defense and utilizing some of the kicks as well. Arnold Allen's a big body, though. That's what gives me a little bit more of that. He might be able to withstand a lot of what he does. Topuria's got, I think, one more fight in there before I start putting him into that, and I believe he's there. He's right there. I don't know if he's. How I've seen Yair Rodriguez look as of lately, he looks phenomenal. Good takedown defense, great submissions. You know, the speed. You know, let's not forget he finished Josh Emmett. Like all of these little things, right? And he was putting it on Josh Emmett. Topuria's got, I think, one more fight before we start talking about the title shot. Maybe him and Brian Ortega. He's gonna have to deal with someone that has good level, like great level of submissions. You know, that'd be a great fight.
Like he hasn't.
No, I'm
like
just.
He hasn't already.
I mean, give me the guys that he has.
How about Ryan Hall?
Okay, I get Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall has no stand up. There's not even a threat there.
He's got stand up.
No, he doesn't. When the fuck has he ever had stand up? No, he flops
Come
around on
on,
his back.
dude,
Look, I like
credit.
Ryan Hall, but let's just stop bullshitting yourself. It's looking ridiculous. Okay, I'm not even going to argue with it. He has no stand up. Okay, he throws flashy stuff to get you to make a mistake and try and jump in. That's it. There's no stand up there. It's horrible. He's fantastic on the ground. I've trained with Ryan Hall multiple times. Fantastic grappler on the ground. I think the world of him. I think he's a great grappler. Just no stand up. But I'm just saying somebody that could put it all together. Brian Ortega's got good stand up. You know, he can take a shot. He can deliver a shot. He's tough as a dog. And phenomenal on the ground. I mean, I think that would be I would say probably his next step
Bryce
up
Mitchell?
in his competition. Yeah, but Bryce is also on the same page as Ryan Hall. He's got a little bit more stand up, a little bit more, John. I mean, like he's not afraid to engage. Like you took the two guys that have like no stand up. He said, go out there and go with the guy who's got great take.
You said a great grappler like Brian Ortega, and I agree with you. But those are the only two that I can pull out because everybody else has been stand-up fighters.
No, I get it. You need to have stand-up. You need to have stand-up. You know who else? The other kid that I'm looking at, though, is Evolov. And I know that's going backwards for him, and I'm not asking him to go backwards. I'm not. Look, Topuria looked fantastic last night. There's nothing I can say. I can't say anything negative about what he did at all. He looked fantastic. He stayed composed. First time he's ever been out of 3 rounds. first time ever in his career. Got into the 4th and 5th round. Looked fantastic in the 4th and 5th round. Made me a little nervous at the beginning of the 5th when Emmett started fighting relaxed and walked after him.
I thought
hit him with some big shots, and I was like, "That's the way you should be fighting every time."
What Topuria did. Yeah, but I love what Topuria did because see, Topuria went out there knowing, look, he's going to try to knock. This is his last round. He's got to try to knock me out. That's what he's going to. He's going to come, guns blazing, just winging shots, and I'm just going to sit there and be defensive, move.
He got hit with some big shots, though, John.
He got hit a couple times.
He got rocked.
You're going to get hit. That's part of it.
He got rocked right off the bat with a big shot.
But I'll tell you what. I thought he looked great, and that's why. Oh, dude, take a look at that
5th round.
Who won that round?
5th round.
Who won that round?
That was because Josh Emmett went back to fighting stupid.
No. Who won that round?
Josh Emmett went back to fighting not relaxed again after he landed the 2 hard shots.
Senate hearing committee because you can't answer the question.
I can't hear
you. Who won the 5th round?
No, don't try and structure the argument to your direction.
I'm not trying to structure anything.
Yes, you are. I simply said
you were talking about John. He was so hurt.
John,
he beat him in every round.
What I'm telling you is when Josh came out in the just try to listen for 2 seconds, okay? 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Because you're spewing crap.
No, if you watch the way that he came out and fought that beginning of that 5th round, Josh came out and just walked forward, relaxed, moved his head offline, threw some big shots, and landed some big shots. He basically was walking it down. Look, it was the first minute and a half of the first, or minute and a half of the first round. You can say what you want, but he rocked him. He rocked him. That's the facts. Okay, I know you like to put things together to shape your argument, okay? And I understand that. That's how senators do it.
It's very simple.
That's how senators do it. Good job, Senator. Okay. Listen, but the fact is, when he fought relaxed, it was made it a little bit harder. And I know that he was going to come out aggressive in the 5th round. He needed to. But
he had to.
It makes it harder for you to see the difference between if I'm his coaches, if I'm Josh Emmett's coaches, or if I'm any fighter's coach, and I'm saying, hey, you see the way that he walked out? No, it's ill-advised to walk out with your hands down like he was doing. But he was walking out, he was relaxed, and then when Topuria went to like jab or move, he cut him off and threw and countered, or whatever it was, he landed clean, hard shots in the beginning of that 5th round. The bottom line is that he needs to fight more relaxed like that, and he just hasn't been able to do that. He loads up, he swings, he misses, he makes himself tired. He, like you said, he's not a wrestler anymore, which he should be. This fight would have taken a bigger direction, a different direction. I'm not saying he would have won. I'm simply saying it would have been a different fight had he wrestled just a little bit. I mean, just a little bit. So when I
made it very one-dimensional.
Yes, he's become very one-dimensional. I think ever since the Michael Johnson fight, where he was struggling to get the takedown because of the speed, and he knew he had to rely just on his one shot, and it worked for him. It's all been downhill since then. It's like, nope, I got the power. You can even hear in the corner, and I love Danny Castillo, but he's like, man, these guys can't take your shots. You hit too fucking hard, and I'm like, yeah, but why aren't we telling him to wrestle?
But it has to land.
Yeah, But why aren't we telling him to wrestle? Like, mix up the wrestling with this boxing. That will open up the striking. Because if I start feinting to the legs, you start dropping your hands, that starts opening up the overhand right. There's another thing that I want to talk about too, is that Topuria's leg was pretty fucked up also. It was not as near as bad as Josh Emmett's, but his calf it was just not just as bad, but it had taken some damage as well. He should have kept trying to hack at the leg like Topuria was doing to him. He was throwing maybe 2, 3 at the most, and sometimes missing. It was having an effect. It was having an effect on his calf, and he just got away from it. A little bit of that fight IQ is starting to go out the door a little bit with Josh Emmett, man. Like, I don't know what it is, but he's getting stuck in his ways, and as you get older, you tend to do that, and you tend to have some problems. But like I said, the night belonged to Topuria, and it just comes down to he fought relaxed. He stays very tight with his defense, composed, comes forward, moves his head offline, counters very well, stuffs takedowns. Even if you try to get into the clinch, he's good at making space and making you pay. He's a fantastic, fantastic fighter. Like I said, though, I want to see him fight one more person in between there. That Brian Ortega to me would be a great step up in competition. Great step up. And nothing against Josh Emmett, nothing against Bryce Mitchell, nothing against those guys. But Bryce and Ryan Hall, they have no stand-up whatsoever. You shut down their stand-up,
I agree with you.
And then you get to Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett's got the wrestling, but doesn't utilize it. And so, and look, you're talking about a guy. Is he from Spain? But I know his parents are Georgian, right?
Born in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Parents are Georgian. Lived in Spain. He considers himself from Spain.
Okay. Well, all of these things, the guy's a dog, man. The guy's tough. He's tough as nails. He's got
He is a talented.
He's got the right mindset. I look at the way he had some problems. He had that little setback a little bit with Jai Herbert, but ended up winning the fight and finishing the fight. And so I'm looking at that fight, and I'm going, guys like him, Jai Herbert is guys like Yair Rodriguez are going to give him a little bit more of a problem. The calf kick is there. The speed is there. The mixing up of the kicks, the combinations.
There's your difference. Like Josh Emmett is not a slow fighter.
No,
but he looks slow against Topuria.
Yeah.
Same as Yair Rodriguez made him look slow, and I think Topuria and Rodriguez, as you're saying, speed wise, they match up very well.
Yeah, and then I look at Max. You have Max and you've got Yair Rodriguez. Those two guys versus him are going to give him some problems. The reach, the speed, the ability to mix it up very well. Yair's gotten so much better in the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu department. Max is phenomenal on the ground, but we don't see it much because he's so good with his boxing. Calf kicks are going to be a problem for Max against Topuria because he sets him up pretty well, and he doesn't go to the well too often. That makes for a very interesting fight. But I really believe if you want to give him somebody, and he actually called for Max Holloway in the post-press conference. He's like, I want to fight Max Holloway in Spain. He said, otherwise I'm going to wait for my title shot. I'm like, you might want to be careful with that. You're too far away, buddy. You've got everyone. There's still too many top-level guys that are ranked ahead of you. And look, and I agree that he deserves to be in that next conversation. But I think they got to give him somebody like a Brian Ortega, a Max Holloway, maybe the loser of Yair and Volk. I think they're going to have to give him one of those guys for him to get to the next title shot. He says, I'll fight Max in Spain. When you start saying things like that at pressers, Dana takes note. He's like, all right, cool. You want to talk about, he said, I'll just wait for my title shot. Well, I remember having conversations with Joe Silva. And he's like, you go ahead and wait, buddy. You'll be sitting out there for 6 months, 8 months. He's like, and then I'll give you somebody that you don't want to fight and you turn it down. I'll make you wait again. So be careful, man. Be careful. I think you're a stud. I think, but you got to get to that title. Once you get to the title, you can call your shots, man. But he's not quite there right now, man. And no matter how good we think he is, he's not quite there.
Good.
No, he is. He's
good. He's good. All right, we had Macy Barber going against Amanda Ribas. Wow. I'll tell you what, Macy Barber looked really good. She was sitting down on her shots. She took some shots. Ribas had a couple of moments in there, but the head kicks coming up. Macy Barber just looked like she was ready for that. It was a step up in weight class for Ribas going from strawweight to flyweight. And you can see that, kind of that, that difference in weight sometimes makes a difference in how much the punches have an effect and all those things. But Macy Barber, probably the best I've ever seen her look.
No, absolutely. And I thought this was a freaking fantastic fight, John. It was giving me flashes of the Joanna Weili Zhang fight. It was flashes of that. They were standing toe to toe and throwing.
Oh, they were going.
They were getting after each other. Macy got the short end of the stick in the first probably minute and a half of the first round. She took some big shots, got pressed to the fence.
Turned it around, though.
She turned it around in that first round. Like she hit her with some good elbows, started making her bleed. As John Anik said, yeah, she's really leaking. I was like, what, Anik? Come on, John. Oh, yeah, she's leaking. I was like, oh, no. But it was, oh, man, these two stood toe to toe. They banged it out. They had some good exchanges. It was a fantastic fight. And when I looked at, look, I'm someone that can admit when I felt like I was getting a little harsh on her, on Macy Barber, because she was going the wrong way, and seemed like there was some excuses. She was having some problems. This could have she could have made this into like an Aspen Ladd type situation. Or just, oh, woe is me and everyone's against me, and it just wasn't working out for her, and she just couldn't perform. This young lady turned it all the way around. She's been on fire. She's gotten so much better on the feet, and she's just putting it all together very well. Like,
yeah, she is.
Look, what the other thing too is it's difficult. It's difficult to make those changes when you're losing. She was undefeated, then she loses, to 2 in a row, and then she comes back. She's like, okay, I'm just making some changes, and she made these adjustments, and has come out and looked on fire. She looks fantastic, and she has that. You can tell when she got hit with some big shots last night, John. She enjoyed it. No one enjoys getting hit.
Yeah, you can see it.
She just got the smile on her face, like, nah, this is what I do. This is what I do, and I'm ready for you. I mean, she was out there having fun, and it showed. Everything that she did was fun to watch. Everything she did. I was excited for her. Great job by Macy Barber. Great job. I'm not going to take anything away from Amanda Hebets. Takes 2 to dance, and she brought the action. Yep. She's been in some great fights as of lately, and she's fun to watch, man. I don't know if she's going to stay at this weight class, but I thought it was a fantastic fight.
Great fight. I thought both put out an incredible amount of effort. They were going for it. You can't ask for anything more. And Hebus took some big shots, and kept hanging in there. I thought Keith Peterson, I will give it up to you. Dominic Cruz actually praised him, said that was a good job.
I was waiting for that.
It was a very good job because it was the right time. A lot of people are going to look and that Hebus got her hands. When you start being that person you're holding on to a leg, and I hear people, oh, she's going for a single leg takedown. If that's what you think a single leg takedown looks like, we got problems. Okay, that's called survival.
But John, I did think, honestly, for me, I thought I was a tad bit early, but then again, when he stopped it, I'm like, all right, I get it. So like, I'm not up in arms about it, but I was like, But the other thing too is that Hebus was taking too many big shots right before that. Yep. And so I'm okay with it. But let me ask you this, though. Do you look at it differently because they're females?
No, never. Don't care. People
We've
ask
had refs before in the past. Stop fights.
I'm not
because
saying,
they were females.
I am not saying.
Okay.
I am not saying that. I have not seen referees do things differently based upon it being a woman's fight compared to a man's fight. Never would I ever, do that. You give them. They're the same. When someone is in a position where they're just accepting damage, and this is what you have to look at.
John, are they the same though?
In the cage?
Yes, I'm just trying to get you into John.
Yeah. But when you take a look at
so you're saying what you're saying though is the top female basketball player could beat LeBron James. Okay, that's what you just said. Thanks, John. Thanks.
Yeah, well, we're not going to go there. Yeah, kind of like Dave Chappelle says. I think LeBron should be a trans. He scored 800 points a night. But you take a look and the moment that Keith decides to stop it is a moment that Macy is actually hitting Amanda, and Amanda doesn't have a hold of anything. And as Keith moves in to stop it, you see Amanda's hands come together around the body. He's already made the decision to stop it based upon what he saw. So, no, it was a good stoppage.
I got you. Next fight.
It wasn't a fight. Justin Taffa against Austin Lane. That was a nasty, eye poke. I felt bad for Justin. Obviously, Austin Lane didn't, intend for that to happen. But you take a look, and there was no way that Justin Taffa, you get poked in the eyes like he did, that fight's going to be over. They should put it back together, see what happens. But that's what more can you say about it? It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean his eyelid on the bottom, and his eyelid and his the little bottom piece of your eye. I don't know what that is. But that was all cut as well, and it was starting to swell. You could see the swelling happening while they were showing it on camera. I was like, "Holy shit!"
He got
He got a good one. He got a good one. You know,
David Onama. What's that?
I cornered Rumble, and he had one like that. God, I can't remember the guy's name. Burns?
Oh, that was against Keith Burns.
Keith
or
Burns?
Kevin?
I think it was Kevin.
Kevin Burns.
Yeah, he ended up fighting him twice. First fight,
Yep.
he got poked in the eye bad.
Oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah,
And they gave Burns the win.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was
Kevin?
Steve
Yeah, Kevin.
Mazzagatti.
Yeah, Kevin Burns. Yep.
Kevin Burns.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, you gotta
But
be fucking kidding me.
And he came back. Well, if you take a look at that, go back to that real quick. If you can, Dave. I know you were on it. I'm sorry. There you go. Take a look what it says, TKO eye injury. How in the fuck do you got poked in the eye? And I mean, when you go back and you watch that slow motion, it goes second knuckle deep almost.
Yeah.
Right?
It was
And
nasty.
Mazzagatti missed it. It's okay. You can't see everything. I don't blame him for that. And you see Rumble turns, goes face down, trying to cover his eye, and Burns goes after him, and Mazzagatti stops the fight. But the worst part about that one was, and because I had talked to Anthony about it, so I was, hey man, contest that. That's bullshit. The Nevada State Athletic Commission back then, and it's all due to gambling, said, no, we're not going to overturn it. It's like, how do you not overturn that to at least a no contest? I mean, it's just crazy. You see what hurts him. It wasn't a legal, punch. It was a poke in the eye and a bad one.
No.
And you gave the guy a loss. That's just, you don't care about anybody. That's horrible.
Yeah, we came back and beat him though and knocked him out, so I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I cornered him for Tommy Spears, Kevin. No, not Tommy. Sorry, Kevin Burns. I cornered him for Kevin again. Cornered for Luigi, for Yoshida.
Luigi?
Yeah.
Luigi, that was a mean fight. That was wrong. Anybody that decided to put Rumble Johnson and
Luigi's so small for the weight.
Oh my God.
He's tiny, and he was mainly a stand-up guy.
No. He was a grappler. He's a good grappler.
I remember him being good on the ground, but not like to the point where
He was good on the ground. He actually had a good ground game. But, I mean, you just look and you go, how's he going to get it there?
Never.
It's just nasty.
People don't give AJ enough credit for his wrestling, man. Rumble had some good wrestling.
Yeah, he was a good wrestler.
Yeah, he was a Division II national champ. Yeah. Just good wrestler. Just tough. Anyways, all right.
David Onama against Gabriel Santos.
Jeez.
That was a hell of a fight.
Great fight.
Great fight. I was really impressed with Santos as far as Santos went after him.
Mm-hmm.
Santos said, I'm not going to sit here and give you any respect. You're going to have to prove it to me. I'll tell you what, he was putting it on Onama in a lot of that fight. And Onama, a guy that I've watched kind of blow himself up in the fight, he's learned. He took those moments, just stayed the course, kept doing what he was doing, and eventually just turned it on. But man, the shot that he hit him with,
Yeah,
dude, he was out, and then landed two more as he was going down and stuff. And it was like, man, beautiful finish by Onama.
no, I agree. I think where Santos made the mistakes was, and it was exciting for us at home to watch, is he got to the back for a second, slid off the top, tried to chase the armbar, put himself on bottom, tried to chase the armbar some more. There was moments there where you, as a smart fighter, you need to slow the pace of the fight down, control it, threaten the neck. If you're on the back, never give up the back to go chasing arm bars and things like that. Yeah. Stay on the back,
That's
take up the time.
Fighter.
Yeah, threaten the submission. Now that's what makes young fighters so fun to watch.
Yeah.
It makes it
Take
so
the
much
risk.
more exciting. They take the risk. They don't understand what it's like to not get that submission. In the room, in the practice rooms, they're chasing it. They're getting it. They're making they're working hard to get it, and they get it. In the room, and it's against people that they train with all the time. Well, when you get in that fight, things get a little bit sloppier, things get a little bit faster. The person's a little bit stronger than you thought, a little bit longer than you thought, whatever it was. But he made some mistakes that ultimately ended up costing him the fight later on. He could have slowed the pace of the fight down, controlled the position, threatened the submissions from there, those type of things. Look, Santos looked great on the feet too. It was a great fight in that first round. He was looking good on the feet, good on the ground. And Onama just, I was waiting for him to start taking deep breaths going, shit, man, okay, I'm tired. Never did.
No.
Came out even fresher in the second round. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looked good.
I thought he looked fantastic.
He learned a lesson from his one loss where it wasn't his last loss. But I mean, and I love what he said in the post-fight, interview. He says, I'm just taking my time.
Yeah.
Good job, man. You got it, because you are getting better, and you are a force because he's a hell of an athlete. He's fast, he's strong, he's got power. You can see it. He's going to be someone to deal with. Give him 2 years.
Yeah, you look at him. I mean, Dave, pull up Onama. He's what, 24? 20 what?
Young.
29. Oh, geez. He's not as young as he thought. Not a lot. But look, use the speed, use the length, the reach. How tall is he? He's 5'10", featherweight, good size. He's got all the intangibles, man. He definitely wasn't afraid to jump into Santos' guard last night either. A couple of times he could have backed out. He was getting threatened with the submissions. I mean, those are dangerous techniques to be jumping into, but he felt okay with it. Felt like he was.
Well, you could take a look at, like I was talking, his last loss was to Nate the Train, and it was a majority decision, meaning one had it as a draw. But he was in that fight, and he had Nate in trouble at times, and he got tired. He got exhausted in that fight. But we just saw Nate go against Dan Ige 5 rounds. No, 3 rounds. 3 rounds with Ige, but goddamn, you can see Nate is a tough son of a bitch, and so, man, he's right there. He's just like he said. You know what? I'm not fast tracking. Just give me time. Give him 2 years. You're gonna see this kid is gonna be up there. He's good.
Well, not everyone's gonna fight him like Nate Landwehr. They're not just gonna walk forward, throw careless shots, and if I get hit, I get hit. No big deal. Those are the worst guys to deal with. That's what's made Nick and Nate so popular over the years, and other guys that fight that style. Is they'll walk through whatever you throw, and then they'll make you pay, and they'll just basically tire you out on their face. You know what I mean? And then as they start landing more shots, and then they start picking up the pace, and they just keep coming. Those are guys that are so difficult to deal with. You've got to be in top level shape, and you got to know when to throw and when not to throw, and when to take a step back and when to get a deep breath. So those are hard fighters to deal with, and it happened to him still while he's still young in his career. He'll be back. He's definitely a spectacular fighter. I'm looking forward to watching him fight more. Next.
Brendan Allen came out against Bruno Silva. Brendan Allen, he's on a tear, man. He's looking good, and he is great at jumping on that neck. He does a beautiful job of hiding his hands. He doesn't take his hand out. He does it the right way. He slides behind. It's a scissoring effect. But Brendan Allen, he took big shots. He got hurt. He landed big shots. He really, man, if you're looking just, it was 1 round, but man, everything happened in that round.
Yeah, it did.
For you to look and go, dude, this guy, we know he's good. He's good on the ground. His stand-up is good. He'll take shots. He can be rocked, but goddamn, you better put it all together, because he's a tough son of a bitch, man. He's coming to fucking take your fucking head off. And beautiful rear naked choke submission at the end. Well done, well timed. Didn't even have the hooks in at the time you set it up. So beautifully done.
Yeah, I think the way he got it under the chin right away, there's no, he was like, I'll get the hooks later. Once it gets on there, your hands, once you get that choke on, the hands automatically start going to the neck, which then frees up my feet to put my hooks in. So once he rolled them through, got to the side, he put the hooks in, the choke was already set. There's no reason to be so concerned about the hooks if the choke's already set, because they'll start defending the hands as fast as possible, and that frees up my feet to get in. I thought he looked good. He got some big shots. He's got to be careful in terms of he sometimes turns fights into being a dog fight when he doesn't need to. And but it's fun for us as fans.
Just who he is.
And I love it. I love it. I'm not going to knock it. When you get to that upper group of fighters, you got to be careful. And Bruno Silva, he's the one that went the distance with Alex Bahia, right?
Yeah, he had a great fight with Bahia.
Yeah, that's right. And that was right
He's
before
tough.
his title shot, correct?
Yeah, right at.
Yeah, he fought. Yeah, because then Alex fought after that. I think Alex fought for the title after that. Interesting. Bruno's tough, man. Bruno's tough. Good fighter. Fun to watch fight. He brings it. He seems a little small for the weight. Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't think he is. I think 185 is about his right. I think he would be killing himself trying to get to 170.
Yeah, he's a tweener. A little bit like a Kelvin Gastelum.
But
Maybe not
especially
as
when you
small.
go on that 15 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the 10-pound drop. He might be able to do it if it was a 10-pound, but I don't know. He's a lot better than what his record shows in his last 4 fights. You know, he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights, but if I was the UFC, I would keep him. He's a gamer. He comes to fight.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch.
All right, next.
Neil Magny took on Philip Rowe. This is like watching two guys that, you know, are like mirror images of each other in terms of, you know, stand up and stuff. It was neither guy took down. Did you see a real telling blow that hurt either guy?
No.
It was like a sparring match. They were going after it, they were trying, but they negated each other out with their styles, their length. You know, Magny gets the judge's decision on it. It's fine. It was a split decision. It was close.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when there's not much that separates you leave it up to the judges and you get what you get. You can't throw a fit.
That's it. Yeah.
Next.
That's it. Randy Brown took on Wellington Turman. Just better on the feet. Just better on the feet. You know, just cleaner, longer. Got the decision. It's not much more to say.
The next fight, though,
All of them.
The next fight was
all of them. That's the one.
the best fight. It was so damn good, so damn tough. I mean, I don't know how you say this guy's name. There's an O in there somewhere, is what I understand. Rebecki.
Yeah, Rebecki.
They call him Rebecki. Like, there's no O in there. Your name's Rebecki.
Mateus Rebecki.
Yeah, they're throwing an O in there. Look, I thought this was a fantastic fight, man.
Boy, they were going.
They were getting after it. The leg kicks were huge, had a huge effect. I mean, it was just a really it was power shot for power shot until, how do you say his last name? Razabov?
Yeah.
And
Razabov.
Razabov. Yeah, until he hurt his legs, man. His calves were tore up. The inside leg kicks was chewing them apart. And he just couldn't set any weight down. He was switching his stance.
Yeah.
But I liked what he was doing. He put his back to the fence, so you couldn't kick him anymore.
Yeah.
And then Rebecca was like, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, he feels like he broke his toe because he kicked the fence trying to kick the leg.
Kick the fence. Yeah.
Oh man, that was brilliant. Brilliant idea though, but still.
Brilliant idea. Huh?
But still, he still got.
It's called survival.
Yeah, he got clipped. He got clipped with a big shot though, set him down, and then the ref jumped in. But I thought it was a great fight up until that moment, especially that first probably 3 minutes. First 3 minutes of the first round was back and forth.
Oh,
great big shots.
Dude.
Good fight, man.
Yeah, both guys going for it. Other than that, you had any fights you want to talk about? All decisions.
Yeah.
I started off and it was decision. I said, please God, don't let this day be like this.
Well, I got to give a little love to Tabitha Ritchie, man. She's looking good. She's really kind of she's getting a lot better. She's coming a little bit more confidence. She's being a little bit more of a bully. I thought she fought a good fight. She stuffed some takedowns. She looked good, you know.
Smart.
Yeah, Robertson just wasn't aggressive with the takedowns. She wasn't trying to put it together with the striking with the takedowns. The one time she did, she got the takedown. Wasn't able to control the top position. But she just had to turn the switch of saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to get hit no matter what. Throw, and then try to get the takedown, and she did. But then after Tabitha Ritchie got up, she was like, you could tell she kind of depleted her, like, man, I got to do this again. Yeah, that's the point of fighting, man. You're going to have to do it several times. But I think Tabitha has been looking good. She's good fighter, and she's very well rounded, man. Very well rounded. Good for her.
Oh, I forgot. I wanted to say your man again.
I know.
It's like,
I think it's the hair, man.
He's got no luck.
I think it's the hair. You can't come to the cage looking like that and expect people to vote for you, and that's what the judges are. They're just voting for you. It's like, it's horrible, man. Oh, the poor guy. They're gonna. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him. But he's fun to watch.
No, I think Zumagulov is probably going to be going somewhere else now.
Yeah,
But
he might do well. He might do well over in the PFL. Fun.
They don't have his weight class.
They don't have flyweight. Yeah, they do. That's Bubba Jenkins.
They don't have flyweight. They don't have bantamweight.
Don't they have? What is?
They don't have bantamweight.
They don't have flyweight.
They don't have flyweight or bantamweight.
What's Movlid? Movlid's lightweight.
Movlid is featherweight.
Oh, sorry. This is
That's
flyweight. I'm
they
thinking featherweight in my mind. Jesus, Josh Thompson, what's wrong with you? I was thinking featherweight the whole time. I'm like, what do you mean they don't? I'm like, what are you talking about? Isn't Bubba Jenkins featherweight?
Featherweight.
Yeah, and then that's what I was thinking. This
Not
is flyweight.
flyweight.
This is flyweight. Never mind. Sorry. My apologies. All
All
right, hey,
call back to those numbers again.
Yeah, you know, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Before we get going on the news, we got some news or next fight card. Next fight card, go to onlyfans.com/weighing in and subscribe to us over there, man. Hey guys, it's free. I want to thank you guys for continuing to support us over there. I've had some people reaching out to me going, hey, you know, I've tried to get on. I haven't been able to get on. There's you got to fill out all this application stuff. So don't let that distract you. It's a free subscription over there. We take our fan questions from there. Try to put some extra content on there for you guys. And we want to thank you guys for continuing to support us on all platforms. We're on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, all these locations we're on. So if you guys want to listen to us, I know you guys probably, it's 5 in the morning when we started this podcast today. So I know you guys are all going to complain in the comments about, oh, Josh always yawns. Well, if you guys don't like it, go to Spotify, man. Just listen to us. Okay? You don't have to hear me yawn. You don't have to see me yawn, all right, guys? You big crybabies. All right, you guys can go over to Spotify. You guys can listen to us on iTunes. All right, we're available on all platforms. We're actually in the Dave should be trying to talk to them.
Just watch at night after work, watch the show, and every time Josh yawns, you get the drink.
Yep, take a shot.
There you go.
Take a shot.
You'll have a great time watching.
Fantastic game. Fantastic game.
So drunk by the end.
Well, yeah, you'll be drunk by the end.
Oh, you'll definitely be drunk if you're drinking shots.
Oh,
woo!
yeah. Ooh,
talking alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Meanwhile, it's like 10 o'clock back at home for John and Dave. So
10 o'clock.
Yeah, something like that.
Excuse me, I didn't know you were in England.
No, I don't have the. We're figuring it out. All right, guys, go to onlyfans.com/weighing in. Subscribe to us over there. All right, let's get into the one championship. We're just going to talk about the main event. That was the only MMA fight on that card. And as for the rest of the card, I'm sorry, but I just don't know who they are. So I'm not going to try to tell you guys that I watched it and I cared about it when I didn't. But I'm going to talk about the main event. And you got Arjun Bular versus Anatoly. How do you say his name? Malkin. But Arjun just didn't wrestle, man. Didn't utilize the wrestling that I know he's capable of. He's trained with me at AK for years.
Just say it.
No,
didn't show up.
So much,
didn't show up to win that
He
fight.
actually looked pretty good on the feet. I was actually surprised. In the first round, he looked good on the feet. But as you could tell, as he started getting hit with more shots, he started not feeling as comfortable on the feet. And then he just started trying to get to the body lock, started trying to get to the clinch. And then that didn't work either because, bro, you can wrestle, man. What are you doing? I'm like, why aren't you shooting a single leg? Why aren't you shooting a double leg? Why did they say in the rules you can't? Like, because that's what it looked like for a moment. I was getting frustrated. I'm like, bro, I know you can wrestle, man. You can. I've seen you wrestle with DC, Kane, all these guys. I know you can wrestle, man. And so I was getting super frustrated. I'm like, just shoot, fuck already. But John, you know, when I know people, I get a little weird, and when I'm watching, a little nervous when watching him. I mean, and I haven't seen him in a while, but still, man, I know what he's capable of. I know he can wrestle. I know he's not afraid to stand and throw. But Anatoly he landed the cleaner, harder shots. Was able to walk him around and throw the big shots.
Anatoly Malkin he's a fighter. He is a stud. The
Yeah.
guy's got power in his hands. He's super strong. He'll go to the ground with you. The guy can fight. He's not a big time submission guy as far as he's got submissions, but he tends to want to punch a hole in your head compared to submit you most of the time. But man, I'll tell you what, they've got a real guy in Malkin. Malkin is good. He can fight with anyone, give people problems. And I'm not saying he can beat anyone at heavyweight, but he's good.
No, I think he's fantastic. I think he is good. Very stiff. I feel like he's physically strong. You know what I mean? I feel like he's physically strong. And so you know, I don't know. I look at his ability. He's got power in his hands. His combinations come together really well. Take good takedown defense. I didn't see much of it last night or 2 nights ago because Arjun didn't shoot. But I've seen him fight before in the past when people have tried to take him down. He's got good takedown defense. He can throw. He's not bad on top. It's like a fish or a turtle on his back, but he needs to get up from the bottom when he can. It's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's going to struggle against guys that are willing to grind on him and wrestle on him. He's going to struggle against those guys. But until he fights somebody like that, he'll probably be the champ. To be a champ for a while.
You got to figure. We talk about hybrid. He's a small heavyweight because he really was a light heavyweight before. But he's a gamer. He'll come after you.
When you say small heavyweight, are you talking about guys that are like 250, 245 and below?
I go 240 and below.
Okay.
Because you're given up to 25 pounds and sometimes more. So when you're in that 240, 241, 242, you're one of the smaller heavyweights. You don't get a whole lot of guys that are in the 225s. Those guys are light heavyweights.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm saying that is you're like, oh, well, he used to be a 205 pounder. Well, because like Vadim Nemkov, we talked to him recently, and he's talked about, you know what, I've kind of wiped out this division. I'm doing all right. I'm thinking I may end up going up to heavyweight. It's a big cut for me. He walks around about 242, 245, depending on the week, the day. But he's thinking about going to heavyweight. I was trying to think of what would be a small heavyweight, because Cain Velasquez and DC, they'd come in around 232 to 238. That was like their sweet spot. And as DC got older, it was like 242, 243.
And as DC got older, it was like 250.
Yeah, exactly.
And then as DC is now, he's not even making
he's
heavyweight.
pushing 300.
Oh, yeah. He's big.
He's pushing 300.
He's enjoying his life.
He's
God
big.
bless him. Let him be.
Yeah, he deserves it. Works hard for it, man. Works hard for it. All right, let's go right into the next, PFL. Here we go.
PFL had their third show in a row in Atlanta, but it looked good. They had a lot of people there and stuff. You had OAM, Oliver Albin Mercier against Anthony Romero. I give Anthony Romero credit. He went out there to win the fight. He went out trying to put shots on OAM, but the real Olivier Albin Mercier has changed as a fighter. He used to be strictly wrestling. He used to go out there shooting when he was in the UFC, especially in the early part. Man, he was shooting shots from far away. But he was a good wrestler and he could get it done at times and stuff. But he's really come into his own with his stand-up. His stand-up is clean now. It's good. It's effective. He moves his feet well. He takes his head off the center line. He's not worried about standing in the pocket with somebody. And it's really changed. He doesn't wrestle that much anymore. He's almost like a completely different fighter.
Yeah. No, he's got the ability to take you down whenever he needs to. And normally it's after he's landed a clean, hard shot so he can try to get to that top position and do some ground and pound. Take some of that safety or add some of the safety to it. So he'll rock you, press you, take you down, get to the top, do the work. Because a lot of those exchanges after you rock someone, that's when they're the most dangerous. You get careless with throwing wild shots. You get caught up in the moment, and next thing you know, there's someone standing over you going, hey, man, fight's over. You're like, damn it. So, he's in one of those positions. He's a smart fighter. He fights very smart. He understands what he's good at. He understands what he needs to do when he's in there to utilize and to get the win. I was really surprised because it looked like he was timing the knee every time he was dipping to that right side. And because that wasn't a kick. I thought it was a kick from the side that I missed that he just hit with the knee. No, he threw the knee.
Yep.
And it was beautifully executed. Nicely done. Great fight by him. And on to the semifinals. Good for him, man. Good for him.
Well, coming off, you got to figure they put him against Burgos in his first. He got the 3 points there. He gets, the big points here as far as, 4 for finishing in the third round?
No idea.
But, look, he's got to be one of the front runners in the lightweight division to get that PFL title, because I guess he's not the title guy now, even though he hasn't lost.
Yeah, he's not. He's number 2. Someone else is number 1. I can't remember who.
Yeah, see,
I don't know if it's Burgos or something.
How?
Yeah.
How? No, Burgos. They had to cheat to put Burgos in it. I'm not saying cheat, but it was. Come on. I'm looking at that. I'm like, yep. But I honestly don't blame him. No point either.
No.
But. All right, Sadabu C against Shane Mitchell. I got to tell you, I was not the biggest fan of Sadabu C as I've watched him throughout his career and stuff. He has really turned the corner on his ability to control the fight, to be a guy that can defensively wrestle. He'll even actually try to take you down at times. He very much reminds me of, the body style of a Style Bender or a Anderson Silva, long, fast, those long limbs that he uses well. Shane Mitchell was tough throughout this. He took some big shots, and a couple of the head kicks, dude. He was lucky in the beginning that the heel didn't hit on one of those spinning attacks, but he just was outclassed as far as he was not the guy that had the tool set to beat Sadabu in this fight.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I think he did. He has power. He's got speed on the hands, but he didn't have the fight. He didn't have the right game plan. Look, if you go back in the history of watching guys fight, good kickers, look at guys like Fedor when he fought Mirko. What did he do? He crushed the space. He fought him. He marched him down, made him uncomfortable, fight off the back foot. So then you're taking away the power of their kicks because you're making them throw it from an uncomfortable position. Their back is to whether the ropes or the cage. Fight them in that boxing range. Make them throw when they don't want to throw. That makes them more tired. He stayed at range almost the whole fight. A couple times. He's got speed with his hands, and he's got good combinations. And from what I understand, he's got some power. And so he just didn't fight him in the pocket. He didn't make him feel uncomfortable with pressure. Well, if you're going to stand on the outside, you're target practice. And that's what Shane Mitchell
was.
Yeah, he made himself target practice, and Sadabu C was able to pick him apart. And once he realized that he shut you down and you were real hesitant, and you could see as the fight went on, he was like lifting the leg, kind of leaning back a little bit. That lets you know he's in a defensive position and he's not trying to get off. Let me just do whatever I want now. And so once I started seeing that, I'm like, all right, you're in a lot of trouble, man. And that has to do with the way that he was mixing, how Sadabu C was mixing it up. He was mixing up the head kicks, whether it was a regular head kick, a spinning head kick, then going spinning back kick to the body. He was mixing up his combinations real well. Good for him.
He looked good.
Yeah, he did. He did. Man, John, but after you're considered the champion, I don't know what they call him now in the next round.
I know it's hard. That's hard because he should be.
Yeah.
He won the damn tournament. Like he should be their champion, but they don't have champions really. They just have tournament winners.
Yeah, that's weird to me.
It's okay. All right, then we had Shane Burgos taking on Nishikawa. And I got to give it to Yamato Nishikawa. I've watched him fight a couple of times. He's way too small for lightweights. Yeah. He should be a featherweight. I mean, you're looking at Burgos, who used to be a featherweight. He's massive compared to Nishikawa. Yeah. And you look and you go, look, Burgos put it on him, but Nishikawa was in the fight as far as he was trying the whole time. He actually did a very good job of defending himself off of his back. He created a lot of positional changes and made Burgos work there. Shane Burgos was just too strong. Boy, he ate his body up on the ground. Nishikawa, on his flight back home, is going to be breathing very carefully and softly because, man, his ribs have got to be just barking. He got eaten up to the body.
John, when you look at someone like Shane Burgos, though, the size difference, the power, all the intangibles of being a top-level fighter, Don't you feel like he should have got him out of there?
Well, you would think so, but it's sometimes, and this is how offensive, other than throwing off of his back and things. Nishikawa was not super offensive; it was more defensive throughout the fight.
Yeah,
and when you have someone that's good at defending, it's not easy to put away a fighter that's just being more defensive throughout the fight, not really giving openings that you can do stuff with to land that shot that's going to hurt himself. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Burgos put him away. It's just not something that, you got to put that shot on him, and he wasn't able to put it on him. But Burgos looked good. You got to give it to him. He looked good in the fight, but he was fighting a very small lightweight in that fight.
Yep. We're going to see what happens next round. Next fight.
Magomed Karamov against David Zwada. I love the confidence of Magomed Karamov, because he's basically goes, there's nobody here that can beat me.
Nope.
I'm coming back from my title. It's going to be interesting between him and if Sadabusi get together. Look, we know that Karamov has great wrestling. He's got the ability to take people down and use a great ground attack. His stand-up is good, too, though.
Yeah.
He's got power, man. And I tell you what, he landed a couple of big shots on Zawada. Zawada was trying to be a counter striker at times. It just, he was outclassed in this matchup, if you're looking at it.
Yeah, he was. He was outclassed, but, Magomed Karamov.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a mouthful.
Magomed
Almost like
Karamov.
Magomed Sharapov.
Yeah, exactly.
Zabit Magomed Sharapov.
But
come on.
he looks
Give me one less lane.
He looks good, man. He looks good. He looks I haven't seen him. He hasn't lost since the Ray Cooper in the finals, right? I think he hasn't lost since then. Good fight, man.
I think he's only got
2. I think is it 2 or 1?
He's got 1 or 2 losses in the PFL. He's got 6 losses overall. There's the Ray Cooper. Keep going. Yeah, he's only got 1 loss in the PFL to Ray Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah. But look, you have the guy right below him, though, who's undefeated. So Magomed Umalatov.
Molotov.
So you have him in there as well. And he just beat Lopez. Lopez was undefeated also, who was 16-0. And then Molotov is 13-0. I think now 14-0. I mean, he's fucking really good, especially in that first round and a half, where he really put it on Lopez.
Who's fighting John, who in the? Who's won?
I don't know. Dave, can you look that up?
1-4 and 2 and 3. I'm not sure how they ended up. Karamov had to have the most points.
Let's see matchups for this season.
I mean, look, did you watch that Lopez fight, John? It was a great fight, man. Molotov just put it on him in that first round, 10-8 round, potentially a 10-8 round. I mean, I had to be in a 10-8 round, and then the second round, Lopez started to kind of come back a little bit. I still gave Molotov the second round. Third round, though, Lopez was still there. It was a good fight, man. Lopez was never out of this fight. It was a damn good fight. Nothing yet?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to navigate because it doesn't see if you click on season and it shows you the next card is August 4th. It doesn't, but it only shows these fights, so maybe they just haven't updated it.
How about where it
Friday,
says standings? How about where it says standings?
Okay.
You know what standings are, Dave? It's like rankings.
Nope.
Yeah, there we go. So that's featherweight. So go to welterweight.
Welterweight.
Okay, so your top.
Magomed Karamov is number 1.
Now, of course, you're gonna have him fight the other Russian.
He'll be going against your man
Molotov. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you figure that?
Number 1 versus number 4, and
because they're
going to
go number 1 against number 4 and 2 against 3.
Yeah. Yep.
How is that determination made? Why wouldn't it be 1 versus 2?
because you don't take your two top ones and put them against each other. You give number 1 the number 4 because he's earned the fact that he gets the lesser fight, if you want to say that it is, which it's not. And then you give number 2 and number 3 to pair off. That's just bracketing.
Dave just proved he'd never played sports in his life. I swear. He's laughing right now because. Wow.
I just think PFL's thing's too hard to figure out.
You mean like every other tournament in the world that's ever said?
No, the best is they made it even harder after the fights, but we're going to talk about that. Let's go back to the card there.
Dave, number. Do you know why they do that, Dave? Do you know why they do that?
Why they do what?
Why they have the highest ranked guy fight the lowest ranked guy? Do you know why they do that?
No, tell me, Joe.
I'm just asking if you knew why. Do you watch like the World Cup? Do you watch like basketball, like the March Madness?
World Cup. I don't watch.
Okay, but like they do that because if you have number 1 play number 2, then that means all the best teams will beat each other up, and then all the lower level teams will end up closer to the finals.
We'll end up in one of the lower level teams will end up in the finals.
That makes sense.
Now that's possible anyways.
It still is
possible anyways.
Yeah, but they want to make sure that the lower level teams actually earn it to get there, and the same thing with the upper teams also. But they give them more of a chance because they've earned it throughout the season with their rankings.
That's why you play hard during the season to get to that level, so you play the lesser in the beginning of the playoffs.
He's like, I don't understand why number 1 doesn't fight number 2.
What the hell are they doing that for?
Just about fell out of my seat.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just didn't think.
All right, we had Clay Collar going against
you're getting rid of all the best fights early.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Clay Collard against Stevie Ray. Clay Collard looked good. Yeah.
Stevie Ray looked lost out there. He just looked lost.
Stevie Ray. Yeah, exactly. You could tell that, you know what? It's almost, Josh, when a guy his heart's not it's not in it the same.
Yeah.
He's got his mind
somewhere else
on other things and somewhere else, and I think that right now for Stevie Ray that might be the case.
Yeah, I'm surprised he actually fought, to be honest, but I know, the money comes in to play.
Yeah, it does.
Jeez, man. But Clay Collard looked good. Nothing, I can't take anything away from him. He went out there, did his job. And Stevie Ray he didn't have enough in him to get the takedowns, to control the top position, to threaten submissions. Couldn't do any of those things. So took some big shots. Fight was over. Anything else? Let's go ahead, John. Next.
Well, we got to. So we got Carlos Leal Miranda took out Delano Taylor. Delano Taylor was in the finals against Sadabu C last year, and now Carlos Leal Miranda is into the welterweight finals. He'll be taking on the same man in Sadabu C, and we'll see how that fight goes. But that's a big drop off for Delano. He didn't even make the playoffs, and a lot of people were expecting more out of him. One, so.
All right, John.
Nathan Schulte against Raush Manfio. This was a spectacular fight. I love this fight. It was back and forth. These guys were going after it.
I'm going to kick you in the dick.
I'm lying my ass off right now, because if you want to know what a sparring session looks like in a gym when guys are getting ready to take on someone and you have a good training partner, this was exactly what we were watching. And it was funny because, even the commentary team of, Sean and Randy and Kenny, they were all, well, these guys are friends. And they kept saying it over and over and over again because they could see it. And you can see, when a guy is, trying to land a hammer fist and it's it's touching. Has no impact. It's not affecting in any way. They didn't want to fight. They're friends. They're training partners. And they got matched up here. And you could tell that they went and basically said, hey, let's, we'll go out there and we'll go through the motions, but we're not going to hurt each other. We're not going to put it on the line. Even the corners, Josh, the corners were silent, and they were, the PFL was putting that out there too on their broadcast, saying, they had Brett Okamoto talking about it. Look, the corners have decided they're not going to talk or anything. And it's like, there comes a point somewhere within management, you got to look and say, is this going to be beneficial to us? They had to look and know this could be a problem. And we've seen those fights before. You know, this was a fight that was actually not a fight. Nathan Schultz went out there. He used his grappling to take Monfils down, control position, and that's all we had.
I mean, if I'm a promoter that owns any other company, I'm not signing either one of these guys to ever fight for me. It just goes. I mean, especially now with gambling involved. Tell me what is different from this than what the fighter did that fought out of James Cross's place. Tell me what the difference is. I mean, outside of they bet on them, they probably bet on themselves, or they told other people to bet on themselves, or maybe they have family members bet on them. I don't know, but I don't think we know that yet.
I don't think that they went in there saying, "Okay, Nathan Schultz, you know, you're going to win this."
No,
I don't think they did that. I don't think Monfils said, "Okay, I'm just going to give you the win." I look at the incident with Derek Minor.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Minor is the referee.
Yes, we know this.
So Derek Minor, I look at that as he knew, you know, I'm gonna get myself out of here as quick as I can, you know, and maybe he was already injured from it, but he knew he was gonna lose. And there is a difference, but there is the whole fact of the matter is it's no different than what we talk about all the time and what I tell fighters all the time. I used to tell them all, look, you have 3 requirements. 3. I can't even tell you that you need to train for your fight, but I will tell you, hey, when you are at, a location and a promoter has brought you there to fight, your jobs are first be on time, because you're keeping every other fighter from getting to what they want to do when you're late and they're having to wait on you. And trust me, in the end, it'll count against you. Mm-hmm. So be on time, be where you're supposed to be, and be on time. Second, make weight. God damn it. You signed the contract. You said you can make that weight. It is your responsibility. You're a professional. Make the weight. Yeah. Don't put the promoter and your opponent in a position where now they're trying to adjust things based upon you not doing your job. And the last thing is, and this is what goes with these guys, fight hard. Give it everything you have. I'm not even telling you have to train hard. If you can do it without training, go ahead.
Yeah.
But when you go out there, people paid to watch you fight. Give them what they paid for. Fight. That's not what happened.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm a promoter, like I said, though, I'm not signing these guys. That means that
okay, let me ask you this. You're looking at, the PFL put a thing out last night. Nathan Schultz and Rausch Monfils did not meet the standards of which all PFL fighters agree to uphold in competition. A PFL press release Saturday said all fighters in their PFL fight agreements agree to use their best efforts, skills, and abilities as professional athletes to compete and defeat any opponent. The bout in question took place on Friday. It was very clear that Nathan and Rausch did not meet that contractual standard in yesterday's bout. The promotion said PFL immediately suspended both fighters from the season and deemed the fight to have 0 points for the purposes of league standings, meaning that the 3 points that Nathan Schultz received, he didn't get those 3 points. And the PFL takes this action in recognition of its responsibility to all PFL fighters and PFL fans. As a result, Shane Burgos will slide into, because Shane won 3 points and only 3 points. He lost to OAM. He beats Nishikawa. And so he slides into the playoff slot at number 4, meaning he's going to face number 1, Clay Collard. And so it's an interesting change, and it's something. Do you think it's the right thing for them to do?
The PFL?
Yeah, Nathan Schultz would have been in the playoffs.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay, I saw, and this is what cracked me up. I saw people complaining and people talking, how can the PFL do that? Did they go through the commission? Hold on. Did they go through the commission? It's like, whoa, hold on. You're not fucking figuring this out. They didn't take Nathan Schultz's win away. They can't do that. But as a promotion, they can say, we're not going to allow you to be in our playoffs because we don't think you competed fairly. and gave the best effort that you could give in a fight that we paid you for, and we're going to take you out of the playoffs. They have every right to do that. Their job is to put the best fighters they have out into competition so the fans get to see the best they have. And if you're looking at what Nathan Schultz and Manfio did, they didn't give their best efforts. Would you rather have Shane Burgos in there than a guy that gave no effort? I would.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with what they did at all.
I don't disagree with it either. And I'd be surprised if they bring them back. Like I said, I would cut them. I'd cut them right away. Like, look, I understand. I go a couple different ways, John. This has been my problem with the PFL to begin with, was that every season it's the same damn people. And why would you sign two people that train together in the same weight class then? If you know it's going to happen, like you didn't know this was going to happen, and they probably told you they didn't have. But I've seen this happen before. They did this 2 seasons ago. Neither one of them really fought each other. And I was trying to remember back because we were talking about this, I think yesterday or somebody was. I was talking about this. This is the same shit that they did 2 years ago. One of them was going to get in, and one of them wasn't. And they made the agreement not to really like get after each other. And it was very apparent when you're watching the fight. And I'm surprised they didn't make this decision last time. And then now they did it again. I'm surprised they didn't talk to them after that and go, look, you guys, we understand you guys are friends, but you guys either got to fight each other or we're not going to put you guys to the finals or to the playoffs or whatever it is. Apparently they didn't have that conversation because this is where we're at now. And if I am the promoter, and I'm not trying to be a dick, I'm definitely not. Like, both of them are good fighters.
I'm trying not to, but I will.
But this business is now run by, it's been run by gambling, but you have gambling involved on a much higher level now, a higher level of gambling being involved now. You're fucking with the odds makers. That's going to ultimately trickle back down to the promotions who are going to be talking to you're going to have a lot of people involved. The government will start to get involved. Oh, you're letting your fighters do this now?
Yeah.
Oh, this is okay? This is a huge problem, a huge fucking problem. 2 years ago, gambling wasn't what it was now. You know, and so now that it's happened on such a high level, they're not going to let this shit get away. People are losing millions and millions of dollars. Casinos are losing monies. Bookies, all these people are losing money. They're like, fuck no. We're not letting this thing happen. There's no way we're letting this happen. I'm not even getting into the commission. The commission should suspend both of them. I think they should. You know, like, John, I mean, I told you before, we've talked about this before. And there was a boxer. I don't know what happened. He got into the fight. He was supposed to fight. He literally, as soon as they rang the doorbell. Oh, no,
yeah.
So he walked right out of the ring.
He got introduced. They go to start the fight, and he just goes through the ropes and walks away.
Yeah. And in a joking manner, you and I were talking one time, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I may come back, just walk into the cage, do all these things, and then just walk right out. He's like, I wouldn't do that. You explained to me. You'd be suspended for a long time, basically all this other shit. You'll get sued by the promotions. It'll set you back.
Oh my God.
It'll set you back.
Think about it, Josh, because this is where people, you can't say this about Schultz and Manfio because they did fight. They did something. They went out there. So contractually, it's going to be tough for the PFL not to pay them. But it could be that the commission could hold up their pay because they said they did not fight in earnest. They did not attempt to actually compete against their opponent. They were more in a sparring session. So the commission could hold their pay. Now, if you do like what the boxer did, or not only are they not going to pay you because the commission will hold up your pay and the promotion's not going to pay you. Now the commission's going to bring you in front of them and they're going to fine you. So it's going to cost you money for your actions because you embarrassed the commission. They went through all the things they were supposed to do and you said you were going to fight and all of a sudden you decide you're just going to walk out. No, you're going to get fined for it. And so, yeah, it's going to cost you money. I don't know. I look at this and I thought the PFL, when I first heard of it, I was like, they're doing what?
Yeah.
But then I remember as I was watching the fight, I go, this is nothing but a freaking sparring session. This is horrible.
Yeah. But I mean, I ultimately put the blame on them. You can't sign two people from the same gym, and you only have like 5 or 7 fighters on your roster for that weight class, and expect them not to match up every time.
Somewhere.
Stupid. What do you think was going to happen? Especially after the first round of the fights. If you're going to have them match up, have them match up in the first round of the fights when you know it's important for them to get a win. Now let's see what happens. But both times they've matched up in the second round, getting into the playoffs. So both of them kind of already know whether they're going to get in or not and whether they want to hurt themselves or not. That just doesn't make any sense, man. Get rid of both of them or get rid of one of them or whatever it is. But one of them's got to go or both of them got to go. I think they both got to go. Go somewhere else. You know, you guys made your decision. You guys decided to do a sparring match instead of fighting. It's in your contract. You need to fight your ass off.
Let's be honest. This has happened in many promotions as far as the I don't want to say fixing of fights, but even in the if I was going to tell you there was any fights in the UFC, were there ever any fights that I said that was fixed? Yes.
No.
It was early on. Ooh. Early on. Oh, it's true. You can go back and watch it. What's funny is Tank Abbott was the recipient of those shitty things both times, because Tank Abbott had fought his way to get into the finals of the tournaments. Because if you remember back then, it was a tournament format. You had to win 3 fights, 4 fights if it was UFC 2, but 3 fights to get, the title, and Tank had won 2 fights, UFC 6. Okay, going all the way back. Tank Abbott fought. He beats John Matua, knocks him out viciously. Then he beats Paul Varlins. Well, exactly, that was Matua. And then he beats Paul Varlins. And then in the second, on the other side of the bracket, you had Oleg Taktarov comes in and he fights and he wins his first fight, and it was against Dave Benito. But then he's going to fight a guy in Anthony Macias, who they're managed by the same guy. And their manager, a guy named Buddy Albin, goes in there and says, look, let's be honest. Oleg's got a better chance of beating Abbott. And if we can just go out there, you know what? Quick submission. And so you go out there and you look at what, Anthony Macias was a Muay Thai guy. He goes for a takedown, gets a guillotine, gets choked, taps, done. It was like, what was the time on that? If you go to Oleg Taktarov's record, and the fight before the Tank Abbott fight would be Macias. Where's Tank Abbott? No, you're going the wrong way. Wrong way.
Do you see it?
Yeah. I do, right there. David Abbott. Okay. Keep going down. One more. Anthony Macias, 9 seconds. The fight was 9 seconds long. Okay?
Wow.
There's no doubt. As soon as it happened, I said, that was a fix. I was the referee of the damn thing. And I said,
man. Oleg was just that good. Calm down, John.
But the second time that it happened, same thing. As far as different manager, but the same thing happened to Tank Abbott. Don Fry had fought. He had fought Mark Hall previously. Okay, in another show, and beat on Mark Hall for the whole time, because it was a time limit thing back then. It wasn't really rounds. Just tore up his ribs. I mean, he was bruised and swollen. It looked like someone had cut open. He was actually had blood coming off of his side. It was oozing out from the bruising. It was that bad. But Mark Hall didn't quit. You go back, and Mark Hall is in the semifinals against Don Fry in the ultimate number 2. Abbott has already won his 2 fights, and they have the same manager. Now, Don Fry will, to this day, say, bullshit. Don Fry got the only leg lock submission of his career against Mark Hall. It's like he sticks his foot up. You go, yeah, that ain't right. And Don Fry goes on and beats Tank Abbott. But you look at those 2 fights, and I would tell you those are 2 fights that were fixed.
Jeez.
You can't do this stuff, man. You can't have it.
Nope.
You know, Pride had a bunch. You know, Mark Coleman was part of some of those. And you look and you go, can't do it.
No. Well, I guess we're going to find out what the repercussions are, not just being out of the finals or the semifinals or playoffs or whatever you want to call it, okay? But there's going to be some consequences. I wouldn't be surprised if they both get cut. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either. And I wouldn't blame the PFL at all.
Not at all. No, not at all. All right, next.
All right. We have a ton of fights that were announced that we're going to talk about.
Ton of fights.
Ton of fights. Yep. We're going to start
What's
with
the best one?
the biggest one in MMA history.
I knew you were gonna do
The most entertaining story of the week was Dana White saying that he talked to Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, and they're both very serious about having a cage fight. Dana goes on to say it would be the biggest fight ever in the history of the world, bigger than anything that's ever been done. It would break all pay-per-view records. Do you agree?
No.
Dave.
Not even close.
Dave, I just sent you a video. John, I'm going to disagree with you. I think it would break pay-per-view records. What's the record right now?
Go ahead. Tell me why.
Point something million?
Let's hear it.
4 point something million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's going to break that?
Yep.
Okay. The same as I talk about Jake Paul and a lot of his followers, because he has a lot of followers. Those are people that are internet nerds that know how to do all this stuff and can steal stuff and everything. These 2 guys, you think their people don't know how to steal stuff on the internet? That's all they do.
No, I get it.
Okay, second up, I'm going to say this right now. First off, how long ago was it that fucking Dana came out saying, we don't do gimmick fights?
Oh, here you go. I just put this together for you. Go ahead.
What is this?
Go ahead, John. Dave, play it. Go ahead and play it, Dave.
That's one of the big problems with boxing right now. It's all about these gimmicky type fights. And that's just not what I do here. It's not what I do. I put on fights with the best fighters in the world.
A few moments later.
It's not what we do here.
Elon and Mark last night. Both guys are absolutely dead serious about this. If they really want to do it and they're serious and we can figure it out and figure out a way to pull this off, I would absolutely positively do this. Build a real card with a real guy, and they're the main event.
Okay. That's the best thing ever, because this is, how many times do you have to, MMA fans, especially UFC fans, all they talk about. Dana White talks one way on one week, and then he's going to switch, and it's all Dana said this, and Dana's going to do what Dana can make money at. Okay, we don't do gimmick fights. Well, if that's not a fucking gimmick fight, I don't know what is. All right, so Josh, I say it all the time, and it's not the nicest way of putting things, but people have this idea that they want to see something. All right, you don't want to see this. This would be an embarrassment. This is it's like watching old people fuck. You think you want to see it until all of a sudden it's in front of you, and you go, holy fuck, what am I looking at? Okay? You don't want to see this. You have 2 guys. Look, I don't know. This is the most fucking ridiculous goddamn thing ever. Mark Zuckerberg taking a punch in the face. How do you think he's going to react?
God.
I don't give a shit if you're training with people. You can't. It takes time
great.
to learn how to frickin' take a shot. And instead of turning away like you're a goddamn kid on a schoolyard and all of a sudden facing the fence and hoping and clicking your heels, hoping that, they take you away. These guys are not going to fight. It's going to be an embarrassment. It would be the most ridiculous and stupid thing ever, and it would not break any records. Bullshit. Most people are going to give a fuck about it. It's dumb. It is an embarrassment that Dana would say that he's going to do it. It's a joke. Stop.
I was listening to
You were just on your phone trying to find a thing saying old people fucking.
I can't wait to. I'm gonna search that on Pornhub. I'm gonna say old people fucking. Oh, it's great. You think you want to watch it until you see it? You're like, oh god, my eyes.
Until you see it, you go, oh
my
shit,
eyes, my eyes.
That's it.
So great.
I'm sorry.
So great. John, no matter what I think of it, I think it would break pay-per-view records. The reason being, and look, you can say, look, all the people that they know, you think they don't know how to hack this, they know how to stream it. Of course they do. Yeah. But you're really going to get the fucking nerds from Fox News and CNN and MSNBC, all the nerds and all the old people that still watch mainstream media that are going to watch this. They're going to pay.
I'm not saying I don't think it would get attention.
And this is,
I'm not saying I don't think it would get attention.
Oh, it's going to get a lot.
It's not going to break any pay-per-view fucking record.
I think it does.
Oh, you're wrong.
I think it does. I'm going to be honest, man.
Dave, only nerds like you would pay for it.
No. Dave knows. Dave doesn't pay for it.
Hey, that's all they need. All they need is nerds like me to pay for it, and then they got.
You don't pay for shit.
We'll see.
Mostly.
I mean, but the thing is, though, is that you're going to get all the people that watch mainstream media because it'll be marketed on mainstream media. All those old people are going to pay for it. They're going to pay for it because they don't know how to do. They don't know how to stream things. They're going to pay for it, John. And that's
most
a lot more.
Most old people aren't going to give a fuck.
They're going to care. They're going to care. You want to know why? They want to know how their iPhone works. And this is the guy, or they want to know how their Instagram works.
Neither one has to do with an iPhone.
Yeah, you know what I meant, though. They want to know how.
They want to see it. They want to see how their Tesla works.
Well, they want to know how their Facebook works. Like, they want to see the guy who created a way for them to talk to their family in another country on Facebook. That's what they're going to do. You know, like they're gonna watch it. The old people are gonna come out of hiding, and they're gonna watch this shit. It's gonna happen.
But it's not just the old people. It's every single person.
It's old people.
Anyone that uses Twitter. Anyone that uses
Facebook.
But
see, John, that's where I go with John's take. Anyone that uses Twitter, anyone that uses Facebook or whatever it is, those people are gonna scam it. They're gonna automatically have a link that has a link that has a link. You know, and I'm gonna be honest. I bet I would almost be willing to bet that Elon would probably even put this thing up on Twitter for free.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about
free,
he would. But I think sure
he would.
It would be on Twitter.
I think he would. I think for both of them, they would. I think if they were both smart, which I think they obviously know, they'd probably try to host this thing on their own fucking sites. They would.
I'll tell you what. One of the best things that I've seen so far. I haven't seen it. I've seen it one way. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it going in the opposite direction. But I've seen more fighters come out on Twitter telling Elon, "Hey, I'll help train you."
Yeah.
I haven't seen one for fucking Zuckerberg yet.
John Jones.
There.
John Jones.
Oh, there you go. Okay, John Jones going with Zuckerberg.
That should tell you everything.
That should tell you everything.
Yep.
I mean, what I love though is the Luke Thomas did a bit, and he's like, "Look, we keep letting shit like this."
This is a joke.
Yeah.
Please tell me Luke Thomas said this.
No. Joke. Yes. Luke said it was a disaster. Said it was a
God
joke.
Bless Luke Thomas.
And Luke had a very good point though. He's like, look, we keep allowing these fucking dumbasses, and not that they're obviously smart guys, but he's like, we keep allowing people to enter into our group of MMA fighters because you're famous, you're popular, you're this. Like, they haven't earned anything to get into this. Like, why would we host them on a fucking pay-per-view in whether the UFC or whether fucking any other promotion? Like, why would you do it? Like, why? And he had given out some good examples, but I mean, I thought he made some pretty damn good points on Luke Thomas's Instagram. I was watching it. It was pretty funny, but it was also very true. And Brian BC was like, said something along the lines, this will be the biggest. I'm like, oh my God. I think it would be the biggest, but I also think that they'll try to do something else to stream it on their platforms. They got two of the biggest platforms in the world. Why would you go to a pay-per-view when you could charge pay-per-view on your own platform? You know what I mean? Why would you go pay-per-view on?
Of course.
You know, like why would you do a pay-per-view with the UFC when you could do it on Instagram and on Twitter and just push it out that way, and you could buy it on your own on their own platforms. You know, whether you want to have, him to, Dana White take care of the promotional part of it, not like building it up, but then the cage, the arena, and be the guy that puts together all the little shit, and just see if you want to slap UFC on it, go right ahead. And obviously sponsored by fucking Twitter and Facebook. Like, I mean, this thing would be plastered everywhere, John. If they did do a regular pay-per-view, it would break the record. It would break what Floyd's got the record right now, what, for 4.2, 4.5?
4, yeah,
I think
4.4.
Yeah, 4.4, somewhere in there, yeah, with Pacquiao, right?
Yep.
And the MMA record is 2.5, right? 2.4, 2.5 with Habib and Conor.
Yeah.
That's the record, yeah. Yeah, and this would crush it. And this would be an MMA fight. So this would be an MMA fight. So are we talking?
No, this would not be an MMA fight.
Why not?
This would be a nerd fight. This would be a fight between two people that don't know how to fucking fight. Okay?
You know what's great,
This
right?
is
John, I want to remind people that Mark Zuckerberg, okay, knows more jiu-jitsu than Podcast Dave. He would fuck Podcast Dave up. And they're about the same size. He would fuck Podcast Dave up.
But what's that got to do?
No, I'm just saying, like, that lets you know.
got
like,
everything to do with it.
Dave has been working for us for what, 5 years now? And with me even a little bit longer. Still, no grappling. None.
Dude, we tried to get him involved.
Jeez, we tried.
Hey, but I can still suplex
You
Tanya
can't.
across the bedroom.
He's all, I got 2 babies by the suplex.
And I'm telling you right now, Dave, at your age, everyone wants to watch.
Yes.
But when you get older, no one's gonna fucking want to watch that.
No one's going to want to watch.
Not according to you. Not according to you.
Dave's got 2 baby by the suplex. This is great. All right, next.
All right. Let's look at a real fight then.
Oh, thank God.
We have Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko for September 6th at flyweight for the title.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Wait, before we get started.
Please.
Would these 2 girls beat those 2 guys? I
Absolutely.
just want to know. Even at 125 pounds?
Even at 125 pounds.
Are you sure?
Those guys don't. Yes.
I don't know, man.
I bet money on it. I'll bet everything I
don't know,
have on
John.
it.
I don't know.
You fucking bullshit.
I'm in the Dave troll you because I can see you're worked up about this whole fucking Elon.
Can't stand with people that can't fight and go, oh, let's fight.
It's so great. It's great. I love this conversation. This is a fantastic fight.
I'll tell you what, I would pay to watch either Alexa or Valentina fight Zuckerberg
And
or
Elon.
Musk.
Elon's never trained a
I
day
would
in his
pay money
life.
for that.
He's straight up like he said, I've never trained, but I'm down to do it. I love that about him though. He knows he's never trained. Zuck though, he's the kid that now knows a little bit, and now all of a sudden is throwing things out there.
Oh, we're a
He's
tough
the
guy.
guy you give a little bit of power to, and now he wants to utilize it. Yep.
How many times have you seen guys, Josh, that go and all of a sudden they start taking, jiu-jitsu or some other type of art form, and all of a sudden they go into one tournament, maybe 2, and all of a sudden they know they can fight. And it's like, you have fucking no clue how far off of being a fighter you are.
No, yeah.
You are fucking just so far away. I don't want to say you're horrible because, hey, I do appreciate the fact that Zuckerberg is training. I appreciate that he's got, enough balls that he steps onto that competition mat and he puts himself out there. That's fantastic. Great job. I will never say anything bad about that. But to sit there and now to call out a fight, stop. Let's talk about a real fight. That's a real fight. And I was surprised that they didn't put this together actually faster. I mean, it took some time, so you had some thoughts about maybe they weren't going to go back. But if there was anybody that deserved to have that rematch right away, you had to say Valentina deserved it. She was a long-standing champion there and beat everybody they put in front of her. Alexa gets the win. Let Valentina look at the mistakes she made. Let her come back. Let's see how she can do. Maybe Alexa puts her away again. Maybe she gets the title back, but this is one that was deserved and should have happened.
I think that Valentina's going to take the smart route. She's going to take her down. In the first fight, she did a little bit more than she should have or wanted to. And
she got beat on the ground.
No, I know she got beat on the ground. I'm saying, though, is I think she's going to take her down, get to the top position, and control that top position. That's what I think is going to happen. I think on the feet, it's a good fight. I think that I even give Valentina a little bit more of the edge on the feet. But I think that Alexa...
Valentina gets the edge with her kicks. I give Alexa the edge with her hands.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. See, I mean, I don't know. It just gives you the what ifs, right? Can she do it again?
Sure.
Like, what if she does it again? Oh no, what if she does it again? Then if she does do it again, does Valentina go up in weight class? Because now that Amanda's gone.
Amanda's gone? Yeah.
You got 2 marketable people that you can put there. I mean, I could see it. It's a good fight. Look, I mean, like you said, we've talked about certain fighters that were champions for as long as they were and were so dominant deserve the automatic rematch.
But when you look at it, especially with in the UFC's women's rankings, it was always, the 135 was the premier class. That was the one they started with. It was the one that had Ronda. Then Amanda comes in, and after Holly takes it, Misha gets it, Amanda comes in and dominates, and it's been that premier class. And the 125s, the flyweights, have kind of been the lessers. You take a look right now, flyweights might be that's the group now.
And then Rose is going up to flyweight also now for this next fight.
That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah,
Rose is going up to flyweight there. There's a lot of people that are making that switch, and there's some really good talent in the flyweights.
Should be fun. We're going to see. The good thing with Rose, man, she got power. She got power on the low weight class. She got power on the upper weight class. So, next fight.
Henry Cejudo taking on Chito Marlon Vera. It's a great bantamweight bout. It's a bout that I makes sense to me, especially for Henry Cejudo. I'm not too sure that it makes sense for Chito Vera, but I guess Cejudo's actually ranked above him, so makes sense for Chito Vera to take it.
Yeah. You were saying before, though, you think that this is a tailor-made fight for Henry.
I do. I really do. And Chito's very good on the feet, and he's very good on the ground, and he's slick everywhere. If he was going to have one element that you look and you say, what's his weakest element? It's his wrestling. Now, I'm not saying that, he couldn't submit Henry. Obviously, anything could happen. I don't see it happening. Henry's been with people that are very slick on the ground. He's got great submission defense. Henry's going to use his stand-up for a little while and take Chito down and just try to work him on the ground. And I think Chito's going to have a very hard time getting himself up from Henry. It's a different style. It's a different base. It's a different type of grappling art than he's used to. And if there's one that it's the weakest form of his game, it would be that wrestling aspect and being able to scramble like Henry. This is a good fight for Henry. It's a good matchup for Henry, especially off of having that one fight back that he had with Sterling. This to me is a good fight for him.
Yeah, the thing that concerns me with him fighting Chito is that he's got a little bit of that wider stance, kind of that karate style stance. Chito's good with the leg kicks. The speed's definitely going to go to Henry. The wrestling's going to go to Henry. The submissions I'm going to give to Chito, but like you said, Henry's going to be hard to finish when it comes to submission game. The power, though, is going to go to Chito on the feet.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Henry's going to have to get in, get out without taking any damage. Because Chito he's just nasty. And in that guard, if he does take him down, he's got to make sure he stays out of that guard because Chito does a lot of work from that guard with those elbows.
Yep.
So he's got to be cautious and careful in there. This is a good fight. I think you said tailor-made for, Henry. This is like a tailor-made fight for Henry. I'm going to look at it a little differently. I think there's going to be, sure, he can take him down, but there's some threats on that bottom game that Henry's hasn't had to deal with before, with the elbows from the bottom, the different types of submissions and setting it up. Chito's very nasty, like very grimy, just fighter. A lot of up kicks got to be careful for. It's not like Henry's a tall guy, so Chito doesn't have to really lift his hips too much, kick him in the head. Those kind of things, like they make a difference. And so I think Henry, as long as he's focused, which I think he is now, understanding that he was right there, could have potentially won the title, didn't get it done, long layoff, all of those things. I mean, he kind of, that long layoff, John, it just really kind of affected. He was doing so well before he decided to kind of retire.
Sure.
And you took
Dave, pull up Chito Vera's record real quick.
He took 3 years off and had the chance to win, to keep the title, to move on, to go up to 45 and become the first 3-division champion. Yeah.
Okay. This is my point when you take a look at his losses. Yadong Song, out wrestled him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I look at the similarity of where his opponents have been. Aldo, it was, they were in the stand-up for most of it and stuff, so it wasn't. Sandhagen, what did Sandhagen do?
Wrestle him?
He wrestled him.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandhagen's not even close to the wrestling ability of Cejudo. And so I look, and you take a look at all these great wins, and he does have great wins. But Dominic tried to wrestle him a little bit, wasn't successful with it, but it was a stand-up fight. Rob Font was a stand-up fight, except when Chito would hurt Rob and he would go down. Frankie Edgar, we know what happened with that with the kick, but it was never on the ground, really. Davey Grant, same thing. So the guys that give Chito Vera trouble are the guys that can out-wrestle him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at Henry Cejudo and saying, well, he can definitely out-wrestle him.
Yeah.
And he's got the ability to stay out of the submissions that Chito is. And I absolutely agree with you. Henry has a tendency to put his head down, and the elbow strikes that Chito does while on his back, Henry's got to contest with that and figure out what he needs to do to make sure that doesn't become an equation in the fight.
Yeah, this is the fight I'm most looking forward to seeing. I mean, I know many out there like John, Big John, he's more excited to see the Zuck and Elon fight, but I'm more excited about this fight. So you guys are just joining us. John just went off about how much he thinks the Zuck and the Elon fight's going to be
Fight of the century.
If you guys are just joining
Fight of the
us.
century.
Fight of the century. Okay. Next.
All right, let's hop into this. Next fight here, Rose. Josh just touched on it. Going up to 25.
Yeah. Good fight.
Going
We'll
up
see her-
against
see her
Mano
power.
Fiorot.
See if her power translates up to the top into the heavier weight classes, and if she can stop a takedown or two. Because I think the upper weight class is going to try to take her down and put her on her back. That's what I think.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen with Fiorot,
No.
but I think that Fiorot's stand-up matches up well with Namajunas'. She is a very dynamic stand-up fighter, very good, very technically proficient. I think the real difference that I see in this fight is Rose's ability on the ground. She's a much better ground fighter than Fiorot. We're going to see what happens, but it's, number 2 in the flyweights against number 2 in the strawweights, but it's Rose going up. Rose has been the champion. Look, people say whatever they want. Rose is a winner. Nothing against Mano Fiorot. She's really good, but when Rose turns it on, when she's got her mind right and she's ready to go and wants to fight, she's an incredible fighter. She's fun to watch.
Why is she going to flyweight? Why?
I don't know.
You're number 2 in the
really
strawweight.
Yeah.
Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, she must have pissed. There must have been something going on when after that whole fight with Carlos Esparza, I think it was, where they just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
She got super pissed off. I bet you she got a lot of heat for that because she hasn't fought since, has she? Has she fought since then,
Yeah,
Dave?
I'm pretty sure.
Who's she get a win over?
Let's see.
I don't know if she has.
Pretty sure she did. Oh no, she
No.
lost to Carla. You're right. May last
Yeah.
year.
It's like almost like
It's already been a year.
someone I think she took a lot of criticism from that fight, and you know her. She wears her heart on her sleeve, man. Things like that bother her. So I think when she came back, she's like, I hope her mind's right. That's my biggest thing with her. If her mind's right, she's a fucking animal, man. She can't be. I mean,
Okay,
I feel
but
like she can't be beat.
take a look. Just look at her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Her last 7 fights. Look at the opponents.
Yeah, all the top tier.
Joanna twice, Jessica Andrade twice, Weili Zhang twice, Carlos Esparza.
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah. I don't know.
She don't get no easy fights.
No, she doesn't.
Top people.
Well, good for her. She's gonna get this one. We'll see how she handles the weight difference. All right, next. Oh man.
All right, we'll keep it going with these fight announcements. We got Font versus Song at bantamweight on August 19th.
Oh, Rob Font taking on Yadong Song or Song Yadong. Whichever way it goes, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But I hear it both ways.
Yeah.
But Song is a younger fighter. He's the faster fighter. He's an up-and-coming fighter. Rob Font's got to do a lot to stop him. He's going to have to really be able to sit down and use that jab that he's got that's so well and keep Song from coming forward on him. He's going to have to stop that pressure. I don't know if he can. And if it gets to the point where Yadong Song decides to wrestle with it, he will take Rob Font off of his feet.
Yeah. I think Song needs to utilize the wrestling to open up the boxing more. That'll keep Font loyal to his hands and his defense on the wrestling to open up the strikes and to land the heavier
That'll
shots.
open up strikes up high.
The faster fighter will be Yadong Song. I think the one that has more power will be Yadong Song, and who's the better wrestler, Yadong Song. Who's younger, Yadong Song. All those things lean towards him. But it is a fight. That's why we fight the fight. Rob Font still has puncher's chance and kickers and knees and all that stuff. He's a great stand-up fighter. So
he's a good fighter.
We'll see.
It's tough.
Next.
All right, last one here. Last one. We have Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann at
Ryan
light
Spann.
heavyweight on August 26th.
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, Anthony Smith is still in the top 10. He just needs to. I don't know what he needs to do, man. He's just getting up. He's getting up there in age, and he is a talented fighter. He's good on the feet. He's good on the ground. He's good everywhere. The age, but he's got some miles on us, man. He's got so many damn
He's
fights.
a great guy.
What's he got? Over 50 fights?
Yeah. Pull up his record real quick, if you can.
I think Anthony
Sorry,
Smith's got about
pushing you
50
around like
fights.
the save. Oh yeah, he's right at
30, 40, 54.
Yeah, and it's just a lot.
Yeah.
Man. He's still 34 years of age, but go down and look at his record in his last 6 fights.
34.
Had the loss to Glover where he took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, then he lost to Rakic. Yeah, it was a good fight. Comes back, beats Devin Clark, beats Jimmy Crute, and beats Ryan Spann. That's what I was thinking. That's a rematch.
The number
But then
2
his
next
last
to their
two-
names didn't give it away.
Yeah. You got Ankalaev, he lost to, and then Johnny Walker, he lost to. Look, he can still fight. It's just that it's the little things as far as speed and everything, just a little bit different. But he's got a lot of mileage on him.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough fight, but Ryan Spann, I think if he can drag Ryan Spann to that second round, Ryan Spann doesn't fight smart.
Yeah.
You know? And
But Ryan Spann is that guy that, look, back when he fought Anthony the first time, he wasn't training. Wasn't training at all.
yeah, but John, he said the same thing his last fight, and he got tired in the last fight too. The fight before that, he looked fantastic. But he goes, because I've been training. I'm ready to go. No. He got tired again in his last fight. I'm not going to believe it. I want to see you go a full hard 3 rounds.
I do believe the real difference in this. I think Spann on his feet. You know, Anthony started off was more of a kickboxer, but his ground game has gotten really good. He has an advantage on the ground.
No, I agree.
That's where he needs to bring the fight.
Yeah, if Anthony gets us to the ground, to the top position, not from the back, he's got to be on top.
Oh, no.
And on the feet, he's got to just weather the storm in that first round because Ryan Spann's going to bring the power, the speed, all of those things. He's going to have to weather that storm. So,
Yep.
All right, Dave, anything else?
We're going to wrap up there.
All right. Hey, we did a special show for you today for about 2 hours. So we want to thank you guys for bearing with us. And I'm still kind of getting over the end of this cold. So I got a little bit of a frog in my throat kind of thing. And it's been a rough week, man. it's been a rough week. I was sick. Kids are out of school. What else is it? Oh, I'm moving to Texas. There's a lot going on, man. So we're packing up the house and getting things out of here. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much. But WayneInMerch.com.
Do you have a birthday party today too?
Yeah, for the
You
little.
have a birthday party.
Yes, we do for the little. So I'm moving tomorrow. Like literally packing up all my shit. They're moving all my stuff out of my house tomorrow. And yeah. So but I'm so
Look at
I gotta go pick up some tables and some chairs because everything is packed up already. So the seats and everything, I sold all my patio furniture already. So I told everyone that's coming over today, bring some lawn chairs.
Bring
lawn
BYOS.
chairs. Yeah, bring your own seats. Go to weighingInmerch.com, pick up some of our apparel, and then hit up onlyfans.com/weighingin. Subscribe to us over there. It is free. I want to thank you guys for supporting us on all platforms. Subscribe to us also on YouTube, not just, YouTube, our YouTube's clip channel, but also on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. We're getting a lot of interaction on Spotify right now. It's really been helping us with our numbers and the audio platforms. We're trying to get our video on there, but it's a process. So we're trying to get that on for the last 6 months, maybe even longer. So we want to thank you guys so much for supporting us all across all platforms. Thank you. John, take us away.
For everyone out there, we hope you have a great weekend. Well, what's left of it at least. Enjoy the new week. Pray for Josh as he's traveling to Texas there. Make sure that he has a safe travels all the way there. And for everyone out there, we will see you.